Hello there and welcome back to the Squirrelhead YouTube channel. Liverpool are going to be in action on Sunday night UK time of 9 o'clock and it's going to be part of the International Champions Cup and we'll be taking on Borussia Dortmund. And Dortmund played last night or this morning, earlier this morning UK hours, and it's over in the US, and they beat Manchester City. Now obviously these are much changed teams for both teams, and it'll probably be the same for Liverpool. It's like we're not necessarily going to be fielding our strongest 11s, and the same with Dortmund. To be honest, the only players that I knew that were playing on that starting 11 anyway was Goetze, who scored the winning penalty, and Pulisic. The rest of the team, not very familiar with, and I'm not entirely sure whether they're going to go that way for playing against us. And I'm not entirely sure whether, they've obviously had a few outgoings and things like that as well. Or Aubameyang being the one who obviously came to Arsenal. He's obviously been he might be a big miss in their actual season, but with it being pre-season and these obviously still being friendlies, whether the International Champions Cup and everything like that, obviously it's not like, no one's going to get excited about lifting the cup for this thing. It's just one of those things. I'm expecting Liverpool to maybe do away with the whole have a different side every 45 minutes and do more of a combination of a few of the more experienced players, maybe getting involved a couple of the star players as well at some points, because a good thing here is, while we'll still be missing Roberto Firmino, Alisson will not be joining up with the squad until a later date. I'm not entirely sure when, but probably around a similar time when Firmino's due back, which I can't remember off the top of my head. But we should be able to see Shaqiri, not for the Dortmund game, but against Manchester City. But we might be able to see Salah and Mané in this game at some point. I certainly don't expect them to be starting the game, and I do not expect them to be getting 90 minutes. I don't expect them to be getting a full 45 minutes, to be honest with you. But what you might see, and it's really difficult to try and predict what sort of starting lineups we may go with, but I'm assuming that we might go with a similar sort of 11 that we went with in the last 45 minutes, the second half against Blackburn, which saw Van Dijk in there. It saw Fabinho, saw Keita in there as well. Daniel Sturridge, he's looking sharp. Could it be the return of Daniel Sturridge? Could we see a fully fit Daniel Sturridge this season? I'm not entirely sure. Really not sure. But you could start to see that sort of 11 featuring for the whole game, or at least the vast majority of the game, with some rotation then coming in to the later stages of the game. That could happen. It really could happen. What am I expecting from this International Champions Cup? I think for us especially, over the likes of Man City and Man United, we are a bit further along in our pre-season preparations than they are. I think that some of these games that they've been playing, or at least the game against Dortmund for Man City, and the other game that Man United played against, I think they played against an American team, and I can't remember what their result was or who it was that they played. I think they might have been their first games, whereas the International Champions Cup will be our 5th game. And we've started pre-season pretty early. We started pre-season while on the same day, was it the same day? It was on the same day that England were playing in the quarterfinals, I think. We were still doing our pre-season whilst the World Cup was on, which, I don't know if many teams were starting that early. I really don't. I haven't heard a great deal of other teams starting that early. But we started our preparations quite early. Yes, we weren't playing against the biggest of teams. We weren't playing against the highest quality or the highest calibre of opponent, but it was important to get those minutes in the legs of all the players that are either going to be involved in the squad for the season, and even giving the youth the opportunity to play with those more experienced players, to play with what could be the first team, the likes of, having Van Dijk next to a younger guy in centre-back. That's invaluable experience for the younger guy to then go and improve on for his season in the youth squad or youth development and everything like that. And the same can go for the midfielders as well. The likes of when you've got Curtis Jones and you've got Camacho, who have really shone, they could get more of a chance, and they could get even more chances during this International Champions Cup. And I'm really looking forward to seeing, obviously we're looking forward to seeing the return of Mané, the return of Salah. Mané will be coming back with the number 10, so we've got a new number 10. I'm not even going to talk about the whole Fekir thing, because loads of people are kicking off that he's got the number 10, now he's not coming. We're not doing that. That's not this video. But he's going to be coming in with a new number, And the training looks like it's going well. Looks like everybody's happy. Salah is looking happy. Everyone's looking happy. We're looking forward to seeing these guys. But I'm looking forward to mainly seeing what happens when we play against all of these teams. The likes of when we play against Borussia Dortmund, we play against Man City, and etc. etc. Because I can't remember exactly who we play, but I know the likes of Man United, I think Real Madrid are in this tournament, or this pre-season tournament, whatever it is. And I'm looking forward to us building. I think what we're going to end up doing during this International Champions Cup is we're going to be building towards our starting 11. That is what I personally think is going to happen, and I think that's where, like, later on in this pre-season, if it's allowable or if it is possible for the likes of Alisson and Firmino to come in at a later date, then yeah, I think that could be something. If that could happen, getting Shaqiri involved as well. I'm really excited to see what happens with Shaqiri. I'm really excited to see what he can do in pre-season, and obviously what he can do in the actual season itself as well. But I think we're going to increase the strength of our starting 11 in these games, and I think you'll start to see maybe some of the youth players drop out of the team or drop onto the bench and stuff like that. And I think you'll start to see, as we progress further and further, and because you've got to remember, Premier League season's like, what, 3 weeks away, 3.5 weeks at max. It's not far away, and I think as we go further into this pre-season, we're going to start to see the likes of, your standard back four. All right, we're not going to get Dejan Lovren because he went to the final. We're not going to see the likes of Henderson and that until the very final week of pre-season. They might not even feature in a pre-season game. I don't think they will. I think they'll just be participating in training. Might take a while for those guys to get back involved, in the actual first team. Might take them a while, but we are sufficient in those areas. We should be absolutely fine. We shouldn't have any worries. So I'm looking forward to seeing what happens in this one. In terms of, predicting Dortmund, I'm not entirely sure, to be honest. I haven't watched Dortmund for quite a long time, and they've obviously had changes of managers, they've had changes of players, different systems and stuff like that. I don't even know how they play anymore. I don't know who's still there apart from Götze, Pulisic. I know Royce is still there as well. I honestly don't know their team. I've had a look through the squad list of who played against Manchester City, and I think apart from Jadon Sancho is the one that I recognise the most. I don't know any of them, so I can't even give you an analysis of how are they going to play. Didn't watch the game because I think it took place in the early hours of this morning. Yeah, unless it's Liverpool, I'm probably not going to do that, to be honest. And if I'm at work, when I get up for work, I got to get up for work at 10 to 3 in the morning. So I'm really going to be in the depths of sleep at that point. I'm probably going to miss the games that start at 1 a.m. Probably going to miss those ones, and I'll have to catch them later. I'll see the results, but I'll probably watch them later on in that day. But I'm looking forward to see what happens in this tournament. I'm looking forward to seeing what sort of systems that we can put into play because of the calibre of players that we've got now and the strength and depth that we've got. It is just, for me, I think you've just got to, let's use this time. All right, you can maybe, solidify us going with a 4-3-3. Absolutely fine, no problem. Why not experiment with maybe a couple of different formations, maybe a couple of different systems, different ways of playing? Then you can go into the season knowing we've got a plan A, we've got a plan B, might have a plan C, maybe even a plan D, who knows? Because when we struggled last season, and we struggled the season before, we struggled to come up with a plan B, plan C, if things weren't going our way, or if we had a couple of injuries here and there. Now, we not only have the strength and depth, and we've got, let's be honest, while Alisson's not going to be joining us just yet on this tour, we've got the most expensive goalkeeper of all time, and we've got the most expensive defender of all time. Now people are going to be looking towards us, not just Liverpool fans, with a sense of expectation. And we've got quality elsewhere as well. We've got quality left back, quality right back. We've got Dejan Lovren, quality centre back. Alisson, quality goalkeeper. Keita, Fabinho, quality. We brought them in. Henderson has been fantastic. Looks like he's riding and striding into his prime. It really, really does. That's what it looks like. Shaqiri, quality backup, or could be a number 10. That is a possibility. Firmino, awesome striker. Salah, best player in the Premier League last season alone. Mané, fantastic. We have quality everywhere. Now it looks like we're getting the strength and depth that we need, and I'm just looking forward to us building towards that. I'm really looking forward to us building towards the start of the season. So let me know what your thoughts and expectations are in this International Champions Cup. Who are you expecting to see us start against Dortmund, and how do you think that game's going to go? Let me know it, because you guys will probably or a lot of you probably know a lot more about Dortmund than I do right now. I don't know a great deal about them, just know some of their players, that's about it. Haven't watched them in a while. So let me know. If you've got any info, let me know it. I'll appreciate every single one of it. And if you comment it down below, I will always try and respond to you as best as I can. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope you do like it. If you have liked it, do like the video, subscribe if you're new around here, and hit that notification bell to make sure you get all of the notifications for my videos. And I thank you so much. I'll catch you later.